Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. I'd like to welcome back to the show for her monthly segment. Are you ready for this? Messages the world needs now. Julie! Welcome back, Julie.
Hi. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, it's so great to have you back. There has been so much that's happened in the last month, not just within our own personal lives, but globally. There's been a lot of changes and shifts. We've felt the weird from last month to the maybe a little bit of a settling this month, would you say?
I don't know.
Feel weird for you?
It feels like I live a whole lifetime in one day these days. So when you look at everything that's happening and hearing about things happening other places in the world, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. And we have access to all this instantly now too. And that, you know what I mean, can sometimes feel a little overwhelming for so many people.
Yes. I think that's a big part of it. The technology overwhelms.
Yeah. So let's get down to, have you got any fairs coming up? Because I do love to hear about these.
I do. Let's see. Oh, I'm doing a reggae festival. Is that fun? A concert, like a music festival?
Really?
Yeah, it's called One Love Lebanon, which is the county that it's in. And it's their first year. So I don't know. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you'll be there for the first year.
Yes.
Breaking
and it's August
the ice.
1st. Yes. And then the Ren Fair starts August 15th every weekend until almost Halloween this year. Yes.
So much on. And you'll be doing readings at both of those?
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Readings.
Yeah.
It's exciting to me. I get to see I see patterns and, themes, right? And people saying, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, yeah, I do. I believe it.
Yeah, I heard it from the next person. I'm going to hear it from the next one after you. But yeah.
Yes, wow. The man hosting the festival, he was just, quickly talking to me because he hasn't hosted a festival before. And he's like, this started because I had a party in my backyard last year. And I just really wanted to give something back to the community and thought it would be great fun. And I woke up in January and I had this name, One Love. And, and as I'm talking to him, I'm like, there are all these ones. It's on August 1st. You woke up in January with this idea and you're calling it One Love.
Yeah.
Right there. Right. So I texted him when I made, I had to sign an agreement that it was happening, whatever. And I sent it to him. And then he came right back to me. He said, did you intend to do this? I'm like, what? I had done it at 1:00. It was sent, which you can't do. It takes, it takes as long as it takes when you hit send, See, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah. And it's just all lining up. Oh, I can't wait to hear about that. You'll have to take photos. And again, just the name One Love. How can that not be?
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
And he's stepping in totally out of his comfort zone. It was like I had this inspiration. He was like a corporate person and going through life changes, just like we've been talking about for the last, I don't know how many years. And same kind of story, but it's personal to him, of course. And I'm like, yep, you're one of our people.
Yeah. I love that though when you talk about he woke up and and there was just that inspiration and that name came to him and things just happened.
Yep.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if you remember back to last month, there was mention of leaving, I think, or we spoke about it after the message, but during it was basically you will feel like the need to change what you're doing. Some people will leave a job or a career, or you'll feel like you're leaving your old life behind because there'll be that inspiration or that need to do something else.
Yes.
Almost
I
like I
feel
want
like
to say a calling. Yeah.
a lot of people are feeling that way. And it's not necessarily something they thought that they would do or planned to do. It's kind of something that comes from, left field or just saying yes. Just say yes.
Yeah.
See where
Or
it
have
goes.
or have a party and see what comes from that. What inspiration.
Yeah. He's like, he just was like, he was having a great party and he's like, we could do this for the community. So he's doing there's going to be, like a food collection, and there's the ticket sales. So, after everything's taken care of, there will be a benefits a local charity.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's always good when that happens. Giving back to the community.
Right.
And I'm going to say this, just in saying that word, it just triggered each time we get together, your spirit team mention about community, about, neighbors, and
Yes.
yeah, huge on community.
And finding your community, because maybe they aren't your neighbors.
Yeah.
Maybe you've outgrown where you live, but you still live there, but you're surrounded by people who have like minds and like values, and that's your community, the people who show up for you. And our community is online. I mean, I get more support and draw more from our online community than my neighbors.
Yeah. And I love the fact that, and I really hope that people who are in the area, and you'll share obviously the information with me so I can share that to social
Of course.
media and so on, that even if you're, even if it's an hour's drive, think about what you could gain from this, the fun, the joy, but the people you could meet and how enriched your life could become, like you say, if you just say yes and just
Yes.
go and do it.
Right. Right. Like-minded people. It doesn't mean that everybody is going to be, a medium like us, or, even into any of those things, but it's the mindset that we are all connected. And how wonderful would it be to be able to hire a mechanic who has that mindset, right? Who understands that what they're putting out is what's coming back. And,
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And again, people who are, I'll say, open-minded. We don't, spiritual, whatever, whatever you want
curious.
that word to be for you.
Right.
Curious, yes.
Curious.
Come from all walks of life.
Of
All
course.
walks of life. Just because you see someone in a suit doesn't mean that they don't believe or that they don't have, they're not in touch with their soul self.
Right. I think it's a different mindset for them to move forward doing their business.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So whatever they used to do, and you still need, to make a living and feed your family and stuff, but there's a more awareness of, maybe the recycling of whatever, or whatever damage your manufacturing does. And your employees, I think, is a huge one. Just treating your employees with respect and giving them the time that they need to enjoy their lives.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Exactly. And again, the coming together, community, whatever that means for you, meeting new people, having new experiences, saying yes, and be there.
Yes.
Be proactive in your own life and get out and create these opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Yeah. And the Celtic Fling, that's a month long Celtic Fling.
Oh, that already happened. That was in June.
Okay, that was in
The
June.
Celtic Fling. That's
So the Ren
also,
Fair.
yeah, it's at the same location, the Celtic Fling. The Ren Fair is every weekend from middle of August to almost the end of October. We're not open for Halloween this year because Halloween is on a Saturday. So,
Yeah. That goes for a long time.
yep, yep, yep.
Wow. And what do they have there? Like music, stalls, just like a
Music.
normal fair?
There's a whole kind of pretend shire set up, like little
Oh,
shop.
really?
Yep, little shops, and the merchants have their things. They do things old, like there's a blacksmith, and there are people making candles, and there are little witchy things and fun things. There's an element of fantasy always, like elf ears and wings, and then there's music, and each weekend kind of has a theme. So the music is frequently around whatever the theme is, or performers who come from outside to do that. But also, there's a whole theatrical event that goes on throughout the whole season. So there's the story of, and we have a new queen this year, and then her court, and whatever kind of shenanigans will go on in the village. And some of the shows are scripted, and then there are other players who are improvisational, and everybody interacts with the crowd, you know, and
Yeah.
they speak in proper English. Oh, and then of course there's spirits. There's, wine and beer and absinthe and.
Oh, here I am thinking you're talking spirits. I'm like, spirits, ghost
I'm sure
spirits.
they are there too. They are there
But no, you're
too.
talking
But
literal spirits. Okay,
there
yeah.
is
Alcoholic spirits.
mead. Oh, and
Oh,
then
wow.
food like the giant turkey legs and Scotch eggs. Um,
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
traditional. Oh, I
Giant
love that.
pretzels. They make these giant pretzels, like soft pretzels. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in August, of course, it's, hot. And so you see all those things. And then you see the trend changing to when it's chilly and people are having hot cider and
Oh,
cocoa.
wow. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. So if you're looking for a bit of fun and excitement, go on down to the Ren Fair.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And where is that?
It's in Mannheim, Pennsylvania.
Right. Okay.
Mannheim.
Yeah.
And all ages, like, what excites me as a reader. I love to just see people, people wear costumes, like they're dressing their fantasy, and some people, like, it's a place you can truly be yourself. And many people have said that, like many people have said it's so liberating for me to come here and wear this thing that, thigh high boots, or
Yeah.
men in dresses, or just whatever
Whatever.
whatever
Yeah.
it is, like they can really truly express part of themselves that they don't really get a chance to, and everyone's supportive of it,
Yeah.
um I really enjoy that, and all the different lifestyles and the things you learn, and the creativity people put into their costuming. It's just astounding. It's amazing.
Oh, I can imagine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing what they do. But everyone everyone has a different experience, like you have families with little kids, and they have pretend sword fights, and the queen talks to the little girl. There's a unicorn, like there's that.
Yeah.
But then there are, friend groups of college friends who maybe have their reunion there, and they're doing the things they did when they were kids, and
Yeah. Wow. So it
it's
really
wonderful.
is like a fantasy land.
It is. I mean, you have the experience you seek, right? There's absolutely something for everyone. Some people just go and watch the shows, and they follow every show, and they know every detail, and you know, it's
Wow. Sounds like so much fun. Oh, if
and
we ever visit
yeah,
there, we'll have to make sure it's during one of those times
absolutely.
to have that
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, locals, you know,
Hmm.
take
Hmm.
advantage. Wow. I would, just to get down there and see that, because we just don't have that kind of thing. No, and especially to go weekend after weekend. Like, that's amazing. I love that. That's just and so good again, as you spoke about before, for the community to come together, and again, expressing yourself, dressing up, being with like-minded people, everybody having a new or a different experience. Oh, brilliant. I'd love just
Yeah.
to see the blacksmiths and the candle making and all that sort of thing, just like a step back in time.
Yes. And these people, for many of them, it's their full-time work. Like the blacksmiths go to this festival, but they do festivals throughout the year. So they are always forging iron. Like that's their livelihood. They're not, it's not like they just put it on for the weekend. Like this is what they
It's
do.
not
They
just
know what they're
entertainment.
doing. They know what
Yeah.
they're doing. It's not play. It's not the glass blowing. I love to see that.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. I love that. Oh, how brilliant. And so when they're giving those demonstrations, they're actually creating things for people to buy as well.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's brilliant. You guys have got so much really great stuff that happens there. Like so much really great stuff. But I guess, like you say, you when you seek the experience, you'll have that experience. So, you obviously after all these years run in these circles where you're aware of all these things. You participate in them, you're always going, you're proactive in being there and being part of that experience for people as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is really like I'm very blessed on all those fronts to have the experience. When people trust me to do their readings, it's amazing. And when they come back a year later and tell me like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's brilliant. And you become then familiar to them, even though 12 months has passed.
yes.
You're
Yes.
familiar.
Yeah. And for some of them, our booth is part of their yearly, journey, like their yearly
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
wow.
really crazy to think about that way. Like I'm just going because I'm doing what I love to do, and it affects people that way.
Yeah.
And that's really just, it humbles me to think that, like, wow,
Yeah. And people are
contributing to
walking
them.
away with so much more. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, for the audience today, you're
Oh,
going
yes.
to walk away with so much more after this episode.
Yes. Now I have to deliver. Ooh, okay.
Yes.
It's not really me. It's the ether. So
That's right.
spirit will do that.
Yes. So this is, getting back to why we're here is, I mean, it's great. I love talking about this stuff with you because it's a new experience for me just hearing about it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
obviously I'm living through you for that part of the journey.
Until we get you here. Yes.
Exactly. That's right. And then I'll have that full on hands on experience myself. But we're here today for Messages the World Needs Now, which is your monthly segment. But it's not just for the month of, it's for any time that you stumble, trip, walk into this experience on this episode, on this interview, and you hear the messages that come through. You feel them, they resonate. And I always find, even though when you're in that state with your spirit team and I'm taking notes, there are some things that stand out to me more than others. And that's clearly what resonates with me. And that's how you know when something resonates, because something sticks and it
Yes.
stays with you.
And for me, it's almost a feeling, right?
Yeah.
It may not necessarily be that I remember the words exactly, but it's like a feeling, like that's true for me, that part. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's something that, you walk away and you think about it afterwards and you sort of toss it around. You think, okay. And then you understand that was for you. The rest of it may not, it'll be for someone else, but that part was for you. And that's how this works. They're
Yes.
universal messages. They're for everyone. So now Julie's going to go into an altered state. You won't see that part when she's doing her breathing because it looks like she's closing her eyes and going into a meditation. I will cut that out and then we will just carry on straight into the message.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. All right, Julie, take it away.
And away we go. Gentle souls. We are happy to see your gatherings, to hear your whispers. We understand the many questions coming from your collective consciousness. As individuals, you are becoming aware of the shifts, the changes within yourselves. You are in a position to watch the change of your collective consciousness as each individual is aware of their own shifts, their own releases and discoveries. Look back in just 1 month's time how your beliefs have changed, how your habits have changed. You are trusting your own inner knowing. Disconnecting and separating yourself from the bombardment of attempts to direct you, to influence you. It is not for us to tell you what is truth. This is your individual discernment. And what may be true for you may not be true for your neighbors. There is no one path. There is no one book. But there is only the one, the oneness, where each individual, each personality reaches for wholeness and finds the connection to their larger consciousness. Each consciousness then does the same, becoming part of the collective consciousness and shifting, changing the landscape of cultures, opening up for new discoveries. This begins with each gentle soul awakening within each vessel. And the personality opening to that soul's wisdom, bringing it forward in their life. There is no maximum or minimum effort. There is no right or wrong way to do so. For most, the journey begins with healing, with answering questions that your personality ponders, but not for everyone. There are many, many beings upon your earth in human bodies who have come with souls who are new to earth or not very experienced with earth. They do not have multiple lifetimes to heal. But they look around and they know that their truth is not matching with what they see before them. These beings frequently are diagnosed with mental health concerns. They require understanding. They are frequently very sensitive and see the world through different perspectives than what is common. Their work, as with the others, is to blend with that soul and bring that light, connect that to the consciousness so that it may also participate in the shift. All these vibrations, all these perspectives are needed. You understand the focus must be upon each individual and their expression of their own light. And as one light touches another light, it grows and shifts and shall indeed change your world. The bombardment of direction, the bombardment of do this or do that, or this is true or that is true, is an attempt to distract from that blending of light, of soul with human personality, human experience. It would be very easy to turn on your televisions and absorb all the negativity and distress. Understand those things are indeed occurring, but you must not receive them through the filter that is already processed for you, which is already telling you what is true and what is good. Right beside you, there will be suffering. We are all connected as humans. We will see the suffering. There is where you may reach out as you shall experience this in truth without the other's influence from your heart to the heart beside you, from your soul to the soul beside you, is where your maximum impact and learning shall take place. Remember, joy gratitude are powerful forces. They may shift your days. Coming forward is great healing. This is always brought about by great disruption, be it in any area of life, be it global or cosmic. That spark becomes multiplied, affecting change through space and time, opening spaces, opening awareness, giving opportunity for healing, for understanding and knowledge, wisdom and remembering. All these shall simply appear as they are needed. It is not to pursue or to chase wisdom. It is to be in that moment, in that body, with your light blended, truly experiencing, truly engaged in the events, releasing what is brought up for each of you and permitting the healing to take its place. Many things may become dismantled. New, more conscious solutions will be given the opportunity to rise. Each and every soul upon your earth is part of this plan, and each already carries the wisdom, the knowing necessary to assure the greatest outcome for humanity, to ascend to the place where your planet once again operates, exists in creativity and love. We understand this may sound foreign. Simply allow the idea. You will feel its truth within your being. It may even feel uncomfortable. This is important information. We delight, dear ones, in your courageous travels. We encourage you to celebrate and recognize how very far you have already come. Settle in to your knowingness. understand each path and journey is necessary and valuable. Always trust your light. Be well, dear ones. We hold you through these coming events. You shall never be alone. Thank you. Well, here we are.
Yes, on the other side.
On the other side.
Well, that was very interesting. And as I reflect back to last month and then now hearing this month, I can see the evolvement of the messages and the evolvement of their messages for humanity and our planet, which is very interesting. Questions. Now, that word has been coming up a lot for so many people about asking the right questions, being, having clear intent and clarity, when you're asking questions. But it comes down to you are becoming aware of the changes, the shifts within and for yourself. Look back at how your beliefs and your habits changed. It's up to you to determine your own truth. Now, that in itself, as we were talking about, was a great example of the reggae One Love festival that you were talking about and how that came about.
Right.
And trusting that. For someone to trust something so big and something that you've never done before, but trusting the process, it is a knowing. Would you agree? It's a feeling that is so deep within you that
yes,
it's almost undeniable, and you have to do this.
Yes, I would agree with that. Absolutely. And it is a feeling and a knowing, and you don't necessarily have to know how everything's going to happen. You just keep moving forward, and that's where things fall into place, or you're learning something,
Yeah. Just take the step with and have that trust and faith that everything's going to fall into place. Everything's going to work out. So they talked about collective consciousness as you all awaken. As you all awaken, that awakening can shift cultures and communities. It's when they're wanting more than just material things. They're wanting peace. They're wanting, to have more harmony within a community or a neighborhood. When people start to resonate and are wanting that one connection, I guess you could say, everything starts to shift. Okay, we talk about the new souls coming to Earth, healing from previous times.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was interesting. That was just very interesting. So I felt how different they feel in their bodies and how different their process is different, right? Now, there's no one process, right? However, traditionally it's the, self-help, right? Like that's where people start in the bookstore, and then it's metaphysical.
Yeah.
Right. So something happened. Why am I this way? That seeking, and then the excavating and getting rid of whatever. And they're kind of born different.
Yes.
Right.
And that's where, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's where your team spoke about they may have mental health or appear to have mental health issues, different perspectives. They're more sensitive.
Right. Right.
And would you say then, and I don't know the stats on this, but this could be what we call the rise in people with autism, ADHD, all these
Yes.
labeled
Yes.
conditions, or,
Yes.
whatever you want to call
All
them.
those things.
Yeah.
I think it's all those things. I think no matter what diagnosis it might be, right? Um, I think it's also that sense that the human part judges, right? The soul doesn't judge. It knows, like, okay, this is me this time around. Um, and our cultures or our communities um, either celebrate the difference, because some of them are celebrated, and or kind of judge it. And then that's where the psychology part kind of develops, right? But they come in, what I felt, their vibration isn't bogged down with lifetimes of it to,
Yeah.
am I making that clear? So they don't really have to look so far. They just
Yeah.
kind of have to accept and be encouraged, like the rest of us, to just shine the light. Like it's almost like if you look at a musical instrument, like their note is over here. That's their note, right? So when we get to that note, you sing it.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the rest
Yeah.
of us, we're the chorus. We're, you know, banging it out, but we can't do that one.
Yeah.
We need you to do that one.
Yeah.
and
And
and we don't have a song if they're not all there.
yeah. And do you think that their, not only their perspectives, but their intuition, their deep inner knowing and wisdom is perhaps far beyond what we can comprehend with these new souls? And perhaps they can't articulate it in a way that we call normal.
I believe that's probably true. Yeah.
Mm.
And they communicate in different ways, telepathically,
Yeah.
but they don't know that,
Yes.
right? And the people raising them don't know that.
Yeah.
Perhaps I got chills. Yeah.
I do believe there is a study, and a reputable person did speak about this, and I cannot remember for the life of me the interview. I have a feeling, don't quote me on this, I could be wrong, Greg Braden was part of that interview where they spoke about they were doing they did a test on children. I think they were aged about 5 or 6, and the telepathic communications was, and the psychic communication and the psychic awareness was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
As in, they put a helmet on a child and got them
Mm-hmm.
to read a driver's license. Now, they couldn't see,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure.
they were able to say exactly what was on that driver's license, the name, the numbers, everything.
Yes.
And that's current. So maybe
Yes.
just do a little bit of exploratory work yourself on the internet. That will come up somewhere. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's not secret. Obviously, I heard about it. So, but you know
Very
what I mean?
true.
Like, so they're aware that this is happening. There is awareness out there that this is happening.
I think that's true. I think it's shifting a lot of things.
Yeah. And this is what they're
But
sort of saying. The kids of today, things have changed.
right, right. My daughter, when she was 4, I was getting divorced from her father. And I remember this clear as day. I was yelling at him in my head, right? And she was getting in the car, right? We were getting in the car. And she turned to me and she said, "I'm not stupid." Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, huh, I didn't say you were.
Yeah.
But I was definitely thinking that about someone else.
Yeah.
And I became very aware of how much she absorbs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's just one example. I mean, I would hear her voice in my head before she could talk.
Wow.
Hmm.
Now,
And
and go on, sorry.
I mean, I didn't have other kids and I was already, psychic. I knew that. So I had thought it was just kind of normal. I mean, I think it is normal, but I think we're not aware of it. I think that my daughter has anxiety because of it, because going to school and having everybody else's thoughts, right? That's overwhelming when you think about it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
feelings. Like she's also clairsentient, but I think it's got to be different than my experience of it, which also was confusing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And that's what I was going to refer to is some people may, like you said, you heard her voice. Some people may just have a knowing or a feeling or sense it in some other way.
Yes.
But that sensing is so strong, it's undeniable. That's the difference.
Yes. And something that I have learned throughout my recent lifetime, it goes both directions. I
Yeah.
feel like we think or we maybe believe, and maybe it was true, you know, 10 years ago, that, if I reach out psychically to get information, that's just one direction, right? I'm getting
Yeah.
information, I'm bringing it back, I'm sharing it, whatever. No, actually, it's two directions. Whomever I reached out to can then come the other direction,
Yeah. Yes.
right? Which is why I could hear my daughter's voice in my head. She wasn't able to speak at the time, but then she's also hearing mine, right?
Yeah. So
So
watch your thoughts, people. Watch your thoughts.
no pressure.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I think it's just awareness, right?
Yeah. That's it. And would you say it's instinctual, basic, primal awareness? Like this is something that you are just born with. But over time, because it's not encouraged to continue to develop, like your
Yeah,
parents don't sit there and say, well, some might, but sit there and say, okay, now I'm going to think something. You tell me what it is. Do you know what I mean? And then you play a game backwards and forwards. That doesn't happen. I mean, it
we did that.
might. Oh,
Yes,
well, see, in some people, in some
we
people's family.
we we did do things like that,
Yeah,
but no, I don't think it's common. And I didn't have a book. I didn't have a parenting book on that and how to help your child keep their gifts. What I was taught years ago was that um, our gifts naturally get suppressed around puberty, you know,
yeah,
because that's just difficult anyway. And then they kind of come back. I don't see that happening anymore. I don't see it getting suppressed. I see sometimes kids, rightly so, just ignore it or opt for a different experience. But I see more kids opening up around age 13 and 14.
yeah,
I see more kids and I see more parents allowing the expression of it. 2, 3, 4, 3 years old is a very psychic age, and they can speak, right? So they can share what's going on. Frequently,
yeah,
children will remember past lives during that time period.
yeah. That's always fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, right. So,
Yeah,
anyway, more to think
interesting.
about.
Because there's not already enough. Let's give you some more. Okay, so we talk about here, let's have a look. As each individual shifts and changes, it changes our world. And trying to, it's so easy to turn on the TV and absorb so much negativity. But it's also, you can experience that. Like we said, that is also experienced through thoughts or from the heart. you connection to connection with people, collective consciousness. You can experience that.
Yes.
You can go into a neighborhood and just feel that suffering, or know that they're suffering, or pass someone and feel down, or feel, you know what I mean? Feel joy.
Mhm.
We have those abilities. We do have those abilities.
Yes.
Okay. Joy and gratitude are powerful forces. And I love that. That is a truth within itself. Like, absolutely, joy and gratitude are so powerful. Great healing is coming due to great disruption, global or cosmic. That's interesting. Heal what comes up individually. Now, I want to just touch base on this. When you talk about, or we talk about, in conversation, healing, do you want to share from your perspective, what does that mean? Because some people might think, what does that mean if I have a broken arm? It's not just physical. What, in your own words, what does healing mean when you say to someone that person needs healing, or they, the new souls that are coming through are going to be healing, or healing their own past, or healing what does that mean?
I feel like it's all healing is energetic, even the physical healing of your bones, right? And breaking a bone is an event that is representing some other healing also, or an opportunity to do some other healing. I think it can go in any direction. And I think that's part of where every journey is different, right? So for one person, a broken arm might be the event that leads to them becoming a healer. And it might have nothing to do with the arm. It might have to do with them becoming, understanding past lives or Akashic records, but it led to some awareness, some understanding of their soul. The soul, I believe, is what really does the healing, you know?
And would you say
And
when healing happens, it's, for a lot of people, there's a lot of emotional healing that needs to happen. And then we talk about generational healing. So do you want to, what are your thoughts on that?
so my understanding is things come up first energetically, right? And then it becomes emotional. And then the emotion can then become a physical wound if it's not processed. And we hold those things in our bodies. Right. So, and I have actually seen this happen before I ever considered myself a healer, and I was working as a therapist, that a trauma occurs 3 generations ago, right? Domestic violence or war or whatever. And most of us don't have time. It's fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
Don't have time to process what's going on. So we hold it, right? And we freeze, which is the other option. Well, you can freeze or fawn, which is kind of like the personality surviving. So when we freeze, we hold that emotion. It gets stuck in our body, and if we don't do something to release it, to purge it, it then starts to interfere, and over time can cause physical manifestations. So if we go back 3 generations and, you know, someone survived war, well, they didn't do that without getting a wound. Even if they just got on a boat and left the country, they were wounded, right?
Yeah.
And they still carry whatever happened, their village burning to the ground, the bombs, whatever, And so it will impact their children. And it's flavored who they are. So so let's say they have PTSD, which is anxiety related. They have triggers. They may become violent. They might use drugs or alcohol or any of those things. So now that child is 1 generation removed from the event, but their parent is still in the event, acting it out, right?
Yeah.
So now it is absolutely affecting the child. So depending on what choices they make and what opportunities come up for them to cleanse it, heal it themselves, they then pass on to their younger children, their children, um, a what I saw, because of course I was working mostly in, serious psychiatric situations, was the PTSD causing a personality disorder, right? And then the children of personality disorders have addictions frequently. Their children often had like conduct disorders or behavioral disorders.
Yeah.
And as much as, there's nature nurture, as much of that may, of course, be nurturing, it's also genetic, because the very first person who had the PTSD or the trauma, their chemistry changed just like that. Their brain chemistry changes. So that then is going to affect their children. It
Yeah.
has to, right? So then their child inherits that. Whatever happens to that second generation, then it goes on. And I've seen that in generations of people in Reading, in my own city. You can trace it right back, and it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, that was an event that happened in their life. Well, yes, it was, but it didn't unhappen. It never unhappened. So if it wasn't healed,
Yeah.
it goes through. And does it change DNA? I mean, if it changes your body chemistry, you know
Yeah. And
right,
do
that's
you,
how things become genetic.
yeah. And do you think that when a person carries a trauma like that and they don't understand it or aren't aware of where it's come from, do you think then that other traumas can branch off of that? Like you said, then the person starts doing drugs and then they may have their own traumatic experience, which is now sort of
Yes.
bouncing off of the previous one that they've inherited. And oh, geez, what a mess.
Yeah. Well, what I've seen in generational healing is that the person in front of me, um, frequently I can see it energetically. It's not necessarily a physical ailment, but I see something in their body, right? And it's usually related to a belief,
Mm,
but it's a belief that's so ingrained, it's not really taught to them. So it's not like they
yeah,
can look back and be like, oh yeah, I learned that there's not enough money because I grew up not having enough money.
yeah,
Right? Well, did you have food on the table? Did you have, well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So where did you learn there was not enough money? It wasn't taught. It was energetically conveyed. It might have been in their parents' attitudes. It might have been, you know,
yeah, yeah,
but when you go back, their mother, father, somebody had that same wound, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um, but what's amazing is that when the person in front of me addresses it, if we can move it on, we can release it, it frees up those generations as well. It goes backwards and forwards in time. So the future generations don't need to repeat it. And those who have passed, the ancestors, are released of it.
yeah. And what a great gift to give your family and your ancestors gone by, and then for those that are coming, then to
Mm-hmm.
heal those traumas, those beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of put that to rest and go, okay, let's try and start with as clean a slate as possible moving
Yes.
forward, but also it cleans it backwards, if that makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah.
And many people who come into their family feeling like the one that doesn't fit, or the black sheep, or whatever, that's really their purpose here, is to bring up those patterns, to break those patterns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they wrote the script that they wrote.
Yeah. And so when we talk about healing, these are great examples of what healing can look like or be for people.
Yes.
So that's, again, some examples, and I'm sure the viewers and listeners can probably resonate with some of the things that were said there and start to see it in their own family or themselves, or, oh my God, yeah, I can understand how that, why my uncle was like that, or why my brother's like that, or why I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the sort of that's what when we talk about healing, it's not just a one specific thing like a broken bone. It could be many, many, many things.
Yes.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the list goes on.
And when people talk about like their purpose, right? Frequently that's part of their purpose.
Yeah.
Whatever they signed on to heal.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. That's, I love having these discussions because they're so full of, I want to say, answers. They're so full of knowledge, and it can help so many people to better understand what's happening for them or for someone else. And that's what it comes down to. So with all of that knowledge and information that you can now absorb on top of the messages from spirit.
No pressure, just
exactly
generational healing and
yeah, just everything. 7 generations, 10 generations, who knows? And in doing that, I guess, again, you learn about your family. You learn about their hardships. You learn where they came from. You learn what has shaped you to the person you are today.
Yes.
And that can be quite deep. Yeah.
It is.
Now, your team spoke about all souls are part of this plan. Each carries knowledge, wisdom for the greatest outcome for humanity. And that's pretty much what was said in the healing. As we come through, we're born, we come, that was just explained in that conversation we just had.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Allow this truth. It may feel uncomfortable. For everyone, allow your truth to come through. What feels right for you? What is your truth? And each journey is necessary and valuable. And like you said, sometimes that can be the purpose of why someone is here. That is the soul's purpose. Oh, man. I love these deep conversations because there's so much knowledge and wisdom, not just between us, but for everyone. I mean, for us, these are normal conversations.
I know.
And we always assume that the average everyday person, they just know this stuff. It's common knowledge for us.
I do forget sometimes when I'm talking to people and they're like, yeah, okay. All right, let me start at the beginning.
Yeah. Sorry, that was probably deep, but that was normal for me.
But it's really not that hard. It's more allowing, and it's not a list. It's taught, of course. There are chapters you can read, but when it's time, it sinks in.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And you're like, oh, that's what they were talking about in that book I read 7 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's it. And when the time comes for healing, it's not something you can force someone to do or force out of yourself. When it's time. You'll get to that point where it's almost like a switch is flicked.
Yes.
And you just start actively being proactive, and actively seeking a way, a form. What do I need to do to shift this? What do I need to do? And I think that a lot of that, and again, what your team has said and what was discussed, is part of the shift in humanity, is having that awakening and that awareness that something needs to change.
And I would suggest that many of us read or consume all kinds of information, and we're thirsty for it, and we want it, and we want to get to the end. Well, there is no end. It is all the journey. The journey is the thing. But if something strikes you, a phrase from one of those messages or a podcast or, something just is like, that feels true. That feels right. It makes me uncomfortable. Okay. Those are all like physical, like, aha, your body is saying, hello, wake up, wake up. Then just hold the thought like, okay, universe, show me this thing. Show me whatever it is, show me, and then see what happens in your day.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. Yeah.
And then when you feel the thing again, you're going to know, you know, you're going to be like, oh, there it is.
It's like a trigger, isn't it?
It is. It is. And it's magical. And if you don't get anything, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means like it's a slower journey. There are things that we get really fast because it might not be an issue that's charged for me, right? But the ones that are charged for me are part of like a generational thing that has been carried through my family. It might take longer. It just makes sense, right? If it's already physically in my body, it's physically manifested. The energy has slowed down to that degree that, it's not just out here being something we could experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, wow. There is just so much to think about, so much to absorb. And, this is where start asking questions, people, viewers and listeners, start asking questions. Ask your questions. Ask the questions about yourself. Go within. Are you happy? Start there. Is your life working for you? Start there. There are so many different things and so many different ways that you can be proactive in healing yourself, making changes, shifts, and you never know where that's going to lead you. And that's part of the adventure.
That's the journey, right? That is, and that's the beauty of it. It might start with, I really hate my job, Could start there. And it might end, it's not going to end, but it might take you somewhere completely different. It's just opening that door or having that moment of honesty and getting out of your head, right? Of course, there are tons of classes you can take on what to do if you hate your job, right?
Yeah. But
then you get another job and you're like, I still hate this one too. Oh, okay. Maybe there's something more to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's right.
What is it?
Yeah.
Break it down.
Yeah. Oh, wow, Julie, that's a lot for everybody to absorb. So we might just leave it there for now until next month.
It feels like a month's break.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll check back in next month and just see how you're traveling with all of that.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Julie. And thank you to your team for joining us today and your communications and your messages for the world. Where can people find you?
Oh, I am on Facebook at Medium at Large, and I have a website, medium-at-large.com, and, around the cosmic places.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And you're also on Instagram too, I believe.
I'm there. Yep.
For the Instagrammers, if you want to reach out to Julie there. Thank you so much, Julie, for being on the show. And I look forward to having you back again next month. To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Medium's Table Podcast.